Sister Wives star Christine Brown has exposed how Kody Brown would punish the wives in her new book, which was leaked. Fans are not shocked to hear that Kody would punish them if they did something he didn't like. However, she did not hold back in her new book, and fans are loving how much she exposed. There is a lot to unfold and uncover when it comes to this. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Christine Brown writes a new book about plural family life. Christine Brown has a new book coming out on September 16. It is going to tell the story of her life in a plural family. While the family has written a book together, she has never done one on her own. Now she is getting to tell her story the way she wants it to be told. However, the book was leaked before the release date, so now fans are getting to hear some of the things she had to say about it. This is something everyone was excited about and could not wait for. However, a lot has already been said, and the book has not even been released officially. She exposes Kody Brown's punishment in her new memoir. Christine Brown has revealed a lot about Kody Brown. However, one thing she revealed in her new book is how he would punish the wives if they did something he did not approve of. If I complained about our marriage on the show, Kody spent less time with me and my kids. If we didn't do things his way, he would punish us by withholding his attention. Vegas was all about that. If I raised a concern, he would say, well, we can choose to fight or we can choose not to, and I'll stay. Husbands don't go to the doghouse in polygamy. They go to the next wife in the chain. It got to the point that Christine would not tell him when something upset her. Everyone knows this is not a normal marriage, but he could have respected his wives a lot more than he did. It seems as though if the wives did something Kody didn't like, he would not spend time with them or their children. So, when Christine would say something negative, she and her kids would not see much of Kody for a while. So Kody was never in the doghouse for anything he did, as he would just move on to the next wife. What do you think about this? Are you shocked he would do this? Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. When Christine Brown revealed that she was working on her memoir, Becoming Free Indeed, fans expected stories about heartbreak, personal growth, and life after polygamy. But what no one saw coming was the bombshell revelation about Kody Brown's punishments, a term Christine uses to describe the emotional tactics her former husband allegedly used against her and the other wives. For years, Sister Wives fans watched the family unravel on screen, often wondering if there was more going on behind closed doors. Christine's book now pulls back the curtain, and the picture she paints is darker, more calculated, and more painful than viewers ever imagined. Christine lifts the veil. From the very first pages, Christine makes it clear that she isn't writing just another reality TV memoir. This isn't about behind-the-scenes gossip. It's about reclaiming her voice after years of being silenced. She writes, "People always ask, why didn't you leave sooner? The truth is, leaving wasn't easy because Kody had ways of keeping us tied to him. He didn't need chains or threats. He used punishments, invisible ones, emotional ones. And for years, I convinced myself it was normal." Those punishments, Christine explains, often came in subtle forms: withdrawn affection, public humiliation, or deliberate favoritism toward one wife over another. While fans may remember Kody's explosive outbursts on camera, Christine claims his real power came from the quiet, cold punishments he delivered when the cameras weren't rolling. The silent treatment as a weapon. Christine recalls that one of Kody's most common punishments was the silent treatment. If she questioned him, disagreed with him, or even expressed her unhappiness, Kody would allegedly withdraw for days at a time. He wouldn't yell, he wouldn't argue, he would just vanish emotionally. No eye contact, no affection, no acknowledgement. It was like I ceased to exist until I behaved. When fans rewatched the show after reading this revelation, pointed to multiple scenes where Kody appeared distant or dismissive with Christine, particularly in later seasons. What viewers thought was indifference may have been, in Christine's words, a punishment for stepping out of line. Public embarrassment. Christine also alleges that Kody sometimes used public humiliation to keep her in check. She describes moments where he would make her look foolish in front of the other wives or the cameras. One such moment came during the infamous scene where Christine admitted she struggled with jealousy. Instead of offering compassion, Kody coldly dismissed her feelings, making her appear weak and irrational. Christine writes, "That was his way. If I spoke the truth, he'd turn it back on me, paint me as the unreasonable one, and the world would side with him. It was a punishment in plain sight, one that kept me from speaking up again." Withholding affection. Perhaps the most painful punishment, Christine claims, was withholding love and intimacy. She reveals that Kody frequently made her feel like affection had to be earned. Love shouldn't be conditional, but with Kody it was. If I upset him, I knew there would be no hugs, no kind words, no time together. Days, sometimes weeks would go by without the smallest gesture of care. It broke me down piece by piece. This revelation casts a haunting new light on scenes where Christine tearfully admitted she no longer felt loved or desired by her husband. According to her, it wasn't just neglect, it was deliberate punishment. Favoritism as a control. Christine also claims that Kody used favoritism as a form of punishment, often elevating Robyn while diminishing the other wives. She writes, "If one of us upset him, suddenly Robyn became the star. He'd shower her with attention, gifts, and affection. The rest of us were left to watch. It was a clear message: obey or be replaced." Fans of the show long suspected favoritism, but Christine's book frames it not as unintentional bias, but as a calculated tactic. A breaking point. The punishments, Christine writes, weren't constant, but they were predictable. Eventually, she reached a breaking point. She recalled one incident in Flagstaff shortly before she decided to leave for good. She had asked Kody to spend more time with her children, but instead of listening, he scolded her in front of the family and then iced her out for nearly 2 weeks. "I realized then that my kids were being punished too, and that was the final straw. It wasn't just me living in fear of his disapproval, it was them, and I couldn't let them grow up thinking that's what love looks like." That moment, she says, was when she decided to pack her bags and start over. Fans react. The revelations have left Sister Wives fans stunned. Social media exploded with reactions, many expressing outrage toward Kody. "We always knew Kody was manipulative, but Christine just confirmed everything. This isn't love. It's control. Thank God Christine escaped." Reddit fan forum. "I feel so sad for the kids. Punishing them to get to Christine? That's cruel beyond words." Facebook commenter. Some fans, however, urged caution, noting that this was Christine's perspective and that Kody had yet to respond. Kody's silence. As of now, Kody has remained silent on Christine's allegations, but insiders say he is furious about how he is portrayed in the book. One source close to the family told reporters, "Kody feels like Christine is rewriting history to make herself look like a hero and him like a villain. He insists that he never punished her, he just set boundaries." Whether or not Kody will publicly defend himself remains to be seen. Mary and Janelle's perspectives. Christine's revelations also raise questions about how the other wives experienced Kody's punishments. Did Mary and Janelle endure the same tactics? Christine hints in her book that they did, though perhaps in different ways. Mary, she claims, was often punished with distance and exclusion. Janelle, on the other hand, was punished by being ignored in family decision-making. Robyn, however, was portrayed as the exception, rarely punished, always favored. The broader conversation. Christine's memoir has sparked a wider discussion about emotional abuse and manipulation in relationships. Fans and relationship experts alike have pointed out that while Kody's tactics may not have left physical scars, the emotional impact was devastating. Dr. Emily Carter, a family therapist, noted, withholding affection, silent treatment, public humiliation, these are classic emotional control tactics. They create a power imbalance and keep partners walking on eggshells. TLC's next move. The timing of Christine's book couldn't be more critical. With Sister Wives Season 19 still unfolding, TLC now faces a dilemma: lean into the controversy for ratings or distance itself from Christine's explosive claims. Either way, the revelations have reignited interest in the show and ensure that the Brown family story is far from over. Christine's freedom. Today, Christine lives in Utah with her husband, David Woolley, and often shares joyful updates with fans. For her, the book isn't about revenge, it's about closure. I'm not writing this to hurt Kody, she explains. I'm writing it because, for years, I lived in fear of his punishments. Now I live in freedom, and I want other women to know they can too. Conclusion. Christine's tell-all memoir has done more than expose Kody's alleged punishments. It has given fans a chilling new lens through which to view the Brown family story. For over a decade, viewers saw polygamy portrayed as messy but functional. Now Christine's revelations suggest it was darker, more controlling, and more painful than cameras ever captured. Whether you believe Christine's account or wait to hear Kody's side, one truth is undeniable: the sister wives' story will never look the same again. Christine describes the nights she stayed up until 2 a.m., scribbling memories into her journal. She wasn't ready for the world to know them yet, but she couldn't let them vanish. I had to write it down, even if I never shared it. The truth was heavy, and the only way I could carry it was on paper. Those pages became the backbone of her memoir, especially the sections about Kody's punishments. Christine recalls the first time she felt Kody deliberately punish her. It was during their early years in Lehigh, long before TV cameras ever arrived. She had disagreed with him about family scheduling, suggesting he spend more time with her children that week. His response was not loud or violent, it was silence. The next day, he didn't look at me, not once. At dinner, he passed food to the others, but not to me. It felt childish, but the message was clear. I had crossed a line. Christine writes that this became his pattern: silence as punishment. Once TLC came into the picture, punishments became harder to see but more painful. Christine remembers filming season 2 when she was pregnant with Truly. She was exhausted and asked Kody for more support. Cameras rolled as he gave her a small smile and patted her shoulder. Viewers saw a caring husband, but Christine reveals the truth. As soon as filming wrapped, his hand dropped. He didn't speak to me for 2 days. On-screen affection, off-screen punishment. That's how it worked. One of the most heartbreaking revelations in Christine's book is that Kody's punishments didn't just target her. They spilled over to her children. She describes an incident where Kody ignored Isabel for weeks after Christine questioned his parenting. She'd walk into the room and say, "Hi, Dad." He'd barely glance at her. That wasn't just punishing me, it was punishing our daughter, and she knew it. I saw it in her eyes. Christine admits this was when she began planning her exit. Christine highlights scenes fans remember vividly: times when Kody seemed cruel on camera. What viewers didn't know, she says, is that those were often punishments disguised as conversations. During one argument about intimacy, Kody said in front of the cameras, "I'm not attracted to you." Christine writes, "That wasn't a slip of the tongue. That was punishment. He knew the world was watching. He wanted me humiliated, so I think twice before challenging him again." A recurring theme in Christine's book is how Kody used Robyn as a tool of punishment. If Christine or Mary or Janelle upset him, he would shower Robyn with affection, holding her hand, laughing with her, praising her parenting, in full view of the others. It wasn't subtle, it was deliberate. If you fell out of line, you'd watch Robyn being treated like a queen. That was his way of saying, "This could be you if only you behaved." Christine describes one of the final straws, Kody refusing to travel with her and Isabel to her scoliosis surgery. "My daughter needed her father, and he punished me by punishing her. I begged, I cried, I pleaded. He said no, and in that moment, I realized there was nothing left to fight for. My child deserved better." For Christine, this was the punishment she could never forgive. Christine reveals that she wasn't alone. Janelle confided that she too faced punishments, mostly being excluded from decisions. Mary, Christine claims, faced harsher emotional punishments, long stretches of coldness, being cut off from Kody's inner circle, and ultimately losing her legal wife status. We all paid the price in different ways, but the common thread was control. That's what the punishments were about, keeping us in line. Today, Christine reflects on how different her life feels with David Woolley. With David, if we argue, he listens. He doesn't vanish. He doesn't punish. He just loves me, even when it's hard. That's what I want my kids to see, that love doesn't punish. Christine's revelations have sparked a firestorm online. "He used silence like a weapon. That's emotional abuse, plain and simple," Reddit commenter. I rewatched old episodes after reading her book, and it's all there. The way he treated her was calculated, Twitter user. "This explains why Christine looked so broken in later seasons," Facebook fan group. The fandom is now split between outrage at Kody and disbelief that TLC allowed such behavior to go unchecked. Behind the scenes, producers are scrambling. Christine's book doesn't just target Kody. It threatens to unravel the credibility of sister wives as a whole. If viewers believe Kody manipulated not only his wives, but also his on-screen image, every season becomes suspect. One insider leaked, "There's talk of re-editing upcoming episodes, trying to soften Kody's image. But honestly, it may be too late." Christine's book changed everything. So far, Kody has remained silent, but sources close to him say he is furious and considering legal action. He reportedly told a friend, "Christine is twisting everything. I never punished her. I was setting boundaries. She's rewriting history to make me look evil." Whether he speaks publicly or saves his response for a future season remains unknown. In the final chapter of her book, Christine sums up her journey. "Punishment kept me small. Love set me free. I lived under control, but I left for freedom. If sharing my story helps one woman leave her own invisible prison, it will all be worth it." Christine Brown's tell-all memoir has detonated like a bomb in the Sister Wives universe. By exposing Kody's alleged punishments, she hasn't just told her story. She's redefined the family's entire narrative. What fans once saw as marital spots now look like deliberate strategies of control. What seemed like neglect now appears intentional. Whether Kody ever responds or whether Christine's version becomes the accepted truth remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Sister Wives will never look the same again.